Tampa, home of the South Florida Bulls. Welcome to the herd. Go behind the scenes, from the sidelines to the studio and everywhere in between. Featuring exclusive interviews, coaches, players, insights from the community throughout the program's 26th football season. United by head coach Jeff Scott.
Here we go, lock in right here.
Get ready, because this is our family. This is Bulls country, and we're a stampede. This is Horns Up, USF All Access.
Hey, work on two, 1, 2.
Hello and welcome to Horns Up, USF All Access. I'm WFLA sports anchor Karen Loftus.
And I'm USF sports anchor Kaylee Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to give you inside access to the sights and sounds of USF with exclusive interviews and behind the scenes footage in the bullpen.
So as we kick things off, Kaylee, we are headed into the third week of the football season, and I want to talk about Coach Alan Mogridge, who has more than 20 years of college coaching experience.
And when he joined the USF family as offensive line and assistant head coach, he was part of head coach Jeff Scott's first USF football staff. And Karen, he has really brought so much energy to the team.
And speaking of energy, what better way to get pumped up than to start the show with the man himself?
We probably should talk about this USF offensive line. Return all 5 starters from a year ago. Coming into this season, 154 career starts. The most experienced offensive line in all of college football.
Coach Mo, oh man, where do I begin? Coach Mo is, honestly one of the best human beings, I've encountered since I've been here. His love for the game, his passion for the game, not only for the game, but his love and passion for the guys, He pushes each and every one of us. He knows our limits. He knows what we can handle. And it's honestly, great having him as a coach.
Coach Mo is awesome. He's definitely been one of the biggest blessings in my football career and in my life. He's intense, he brings the energy, and he's my type of coach. I love him.
He's definitely honest, and sometimes you don't want to hear it, and then sometimes you need to hear it. So, if you're doing great, hey, Meach, hey, you're doing great. When I miss a block or when my technique, hey, Meach, you need to get this right. Then, he's honest, and so I can respect it. And it's easy to play for somebody like that when you know what you're going to get every single time.
On the ground, big hole. Brian Battie, he's got wheels.
Good job by the South Florida offensive line right there.
I really do love what I do every day. I don't feel like I've ever worked a day in my life. I have a passion for young people. I have a passion for the game. I have a passion for my colleagues. I have a passion for these guys. And I try to make it better than it was when I found it. But I really try to make myself do that every day.
They will on first down, and he's got a gap, runs it to the right side, and he's all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
That guy right there, you want to talk about someone you want in your foxhole. He is hard-nosed, but cares for his players, brings toughness, extremely intelligent, can relate to the guys. That is one of the most critical hires you can have on the staff. And servant leadership is something that I think is a very critical component to be a successful coach.
Hands it off, and it's Horn with a spin move, gets by a couple men.
Base right here. Good job by the offensive line. Watch this cut right here. Good job blocking on the outside too. And then we go into the house for 6.
So you got to put the work in, and you got to go do the work because it's not owed to you. Just because you show up doesn't mean you're going to win. Stop focusing on the win and get on the detail. Let's get down back in the process of getting this thing where it needs to go. They're not just talking. There's teeth behind it, there's action, and they're fighting, scratching, clawing to get it where it's going to go because that's what they want to happen. So, I just think, the group of kids I coach, you're going to see a group of men of action, and I'm excited about that.
This segment was brought to you by Yingling, America's oldest brewery.
We also want to shine the spotlight on Coach Bob Shoop, the Bulls' defensive coordinator and safeties coach.
And if we're talking about bringing energy, this guy brings it too. He grew up surrounded by football and says it was somewhat of a religion.
But Coach Bob Shoop, you know, his aggressive style.
Tenacity and don't back down to anybody, like all in your face. Hunt, havoc.
That just attacking mindset. Grit. We're playing with grit right now.
Get a lot of tackles, get some forced fumbles. Mental toughness, big, fast, strong.
Coach Shoop, man, he got a mentality to just like, we're going to get after you, like we coming.
He will throw, and a diving interception by the Bulls. Third turnover by the Bulls defense.
My name is Bob Shoop, and I am defense coordinator at South Florida. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania. When I was growing up, the Pittsburgh Steelers were winning Super Bowls. I grew up in a household with two brothers and a father who was passionate about football. So, growing up in Western Pennsylvania at that time, football was somewhat of a religion.
Lines it up, throws, and it's picked off.
And then I went on to college. I played both football and baseball, and the people who impacted me the most during my collegiate experience were more my coaches, and to have the opportunity to do that for young people was something that was really kind of exciting to me. I do enjoy the strategy of things, and I enjoy game day, but the interaction with the student athletes and the relationships is really pretty special. One of the core values I talk to about the defense all the time is the term passion. The interactions in the locker room, the interactions on the practice field, the excitement of game day, all those type of things. I've always enjoyed as a fan and also enjoyed as a player and coach the game of football. Our aim is to be an in-your-face style of defense that's built on relentless pursuit.
3rd and 1. Brooks is knocked down behind the line.
Never-ending pressure. Year in, year out, things can change based on our personnel. We try to tailor our scheme to the strengths and skill sets of our personnel. Every unit that you coach in college football has its own identity. The 2022 South Florida Bulls will be different than 2021, and will also be different than 23, and you tailor the identity of the team to the strengths of the individuals. I definitely think our student athletes have an aggressive mindset.
Ball came out. Who's got it? USF says they do.
And we've tried to feed into that and promote that with a style of play that's an in-your-face style of play that I think is fun for our student athletes to play. Our guys embrace that, and the objective of everything we do is to try to make the offensive play caller as uncomfortable as he possibly can be. We've got a vibrant, a really fertile recruiting ground right here. People are passionate about sports in this area. So it's really just about getting them back to Raymond James and playing a brand of football that's exciting for our players to play, but exciting also for our fan base to watch.
This segment was brought to you by MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.
And you love to see the passion of these coaches and then how the team responds to them is a pretty neat thing to see. And also, Coach Shoop really just said it best. Their aim is to use an in-your-face style of defense.
And up next, we'll see just how in-your-face defense was yesterday during their game against the Florida Gators. We'll have highlights from the game right after the break. In a hard-fought battle, the Bulls posted over 400 total yards and 3 touchdowns, but ultimately the Gators took the win with a final score of 31-28. Let's take a look at the highlights.
The South Florida Bulls traveled to Gainesville on a mission. While a trip to the swamp is challenging, they had one thing on their minds: to beat the 18th-ranked Gators on their own turf. They had already experienced their first loss, their first win, and now their first road trip of the season. With a blue-collar lunch pail mentality, the Bulls took to the field in front of one of the largest crowds ever in program history, and they were unfazed by the environment.
Welcome to Gainesville. It's a Saturday night at the Swamp. The moment's not going to be too big for 11. He has played in big games. Not that the Swamp is nothing, but he's been through these battles before.
The veteran presence of quarterback Gary Bohannon was key for Jeff Scott's squad.
Third down 18. Battie has room, and he picked up the first down with a 21-yard gain.
The Gators had been tough to run against in the early season.
Straight off the gut, eating up the dashes like Pac-Man, and Mangum picks up a first down.
Up front, the offensive line was getting it done.
Gibbs straight ahead, touchdown, Bulls. An early 7-3 lead for the heavy underdogs from Tampa.
Florida would retake the lead with an early indication of the kind of back-and-forth night it would be. But the Bulls would gouge the Gator defense for over 200 first-half rushing yards.
And a pitch to the opposite side, plenty of room for Battie, and now a foot race. And Brian Battie finally dragged down after a fourth down conversion.
A consensus All-American last year, Brian Battie helped pull the Bulls dead even with the Gators in the second quarter.
And a chip shot for Schrader.
By halftime, Florida had gained a 2-touchdown lead, but the Bulls weren't discouraged. They were proving they could play with anyone and were determined to show more of that in the second half.
Head to halftime with South Florida flexing its muscles early.
They did that in the first half with their running game. In the third quarter, it was the defense that flexed, shutting the Gators out.
Pulls it back, fires into the waiting hands of the opposition. It's Dwayne Bowles with the pick, and he's got a full head of steam. Bowles finally taken down at the 17 by Richardson.
And Bohannon and company did the rest. The Bulls would score 18 unanswered points as they came back to take the lead.
Toss to Mangum, Bohannon straight ahead, touchdown, South Florida.
And they didn't do it all on the ground.
They're going to go for two, make it a 3-point game. Flip out and a throw! Caught! 2-point conversion, Weaver on the receiving end.
The coaching staff had these Bulls prepared to battle a top 20 team on the road. And as the evening slipped into the fourth quarter, it was even more apparent.
Option, Dukes corrals to the pylon. Gators playing on their heels. We've got 50 seconds remaining in regulation in the swamp.
A couple of last-minute mistakes kept the Bulls from tying the game. But they can hold their heads up high. Sometimes a team makes more progress in a loss than when they win. Now it's up to them to prove that. This week's highlights brought to you by Wendy's.
Hey, Bulls fans. We really need your support.
The more support we have, the better we play.
Great new guys, great coaches. We putting stuff together all for y'all.
Not only for us, but for the future. You know, them guys out there getting recruited, they see things like that, and it just makes them want to come even more.
Go Bulls. Yeah, go Bulls.
Welcome back to Horns Up, USF All Access. If you are just joining us now, we introduced you to offensive line and assistant head coach, Coach Alan Mogridge, earlier in the show.
But now we want you to get to know sophomore running back Brian Battie. And Karen, he was named a 2021 NCAA Consensus All-American, becoming just the second in program history to earn this elite recognition.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. And also in 2021, he earned many other All-America selections. Along the way, Battie, his coaches, teammates have supported him, and they've been like a second family to him. But his success can also be attributed to his own family, which has been a big motivator in his life.
Just short of the goal line. Here come the Bulls. So the 20 to 25. There's some running room to get things started. And what a way to do it against a 7-1 squad. Brian Battie from goal line to goal line. USF touchdown.
All right, we at Auntie Tanisha's house right now, man. Gonna meet the family. What's up? Nothing much. It's Auntie right here, Auntie Tanisha, man. That's my Uncle Shaq over there. My daddy, little brother. That's my brother right there, Tommy.
Big brother.
Little big brother. Big little brother. Big little brother right there.
For real though, he said it earlier. Like, honestly, like he played a big role, a major role, probably just as much as me training him. His brother played a major role in his success today because, I mean, he was always trying to compete with his big brother, you know? So, like, without his big brother there, he wouldn't have nobody to compete with or chase after.
I played cornerback my freshman year.
played whatever I wanted every year after that. Went to quarterback, went to playing quarterback, just doing everything. Like
that one thing I can say is, to be real with you, he was more talented than me. Like just coming up, he was more talented, but I just had that extra hard work in me that he didn't have.
faster too. I feel smoking him right now.
If you're looking for anybody more motivated than him, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Battie shifts. He's now behind the quarterback in the pistol. He gets the ball, and Battie breaks into the secondary, comes down the near sideline, and he outruns everybody. Touchdown, USF!
I just want to say I'm very, very, very proud of my cousin. He really like my brother. We grew up together, and to see everything he's accomplishing, the person he's growing into, really motivates me and myself. And also our family to just keep going, to know that there's better days ahead.
Him 7 times already in this game. Pitch left, Battie has the edge, has a big gain. He's got a first down and more inside the 20.
All right, baby Q. All right, we out. All right, I love y'all. We got it. They my world, you feel me? So it's like they part of the reason why I do this, you feel me? I'm trying to help get us to the next level in life, you feel me? So they my motivation, for sure. They my motivation. And then this other side of the family that I'm gonna go to, that's my other motivation. All right.
This segment was brought to you by Buhoff Law Group.
I think the best part of that there was at the end when he said, "They're my whole world." So
great.
sweet.
So great. Now, right after the break, Gabrielle Privitera shares his powerful story. That's next.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. Let's check in now with the Bulls men's soccer team, which is in the thick of their season.
I sat down to talk with USF men's soccer midfielder Gabrielle Privitera. Take a look. Okay, so I'll start off with this because this is an incredible story of yours. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it was like growing up in Venezuela and the opportunity your family had to win the green card lottery and the chance to come to the US?
Well, back home, back in Venezuela, I was just a happy kid, enjoying my time playing the game, sharing with my friends, spending time with my family. And at some point, Venezuela was start going into a crisis in where the quality of life wasn't that good. And my dad decided to apply for this green card lottery where millions of Venezuelans participate. And the first year we get into it, thankfully, my dad won it. We received this email saying we were the winners and we could just move to the U.S. and be a permanent resident and eventually become a U.S. citizen.
How important was it to you to be able to come to the U.S.?
It was a huge blessing because back in Venezuela, as I said, the quality of life, the lack of opportunities were starting to come, and being able to come to this country full of opportunities with a fresh start. And it's very important, and I always thank my dad and my mom for this brave decision to come here, because starting from zero is not easy. And it's just a huge blessing for me to being able to keep doing what I love and growing as a person, as a student, and in every aspect of my life.
Well, it is truly admirable what you are doing here now. You started a nonprofit organization that sends gently used soccer equipment back home to children in Venezuela. Why was it so important to you to be able to hold on to your roots while also influencing these young kids and helping grow their appreciation of the game of soccer?
Well, I'm really proud of being Venezuelan, and growing up back there. This game, the soccer, has given me so many opportunities, and that's a way of saying thank you to not only to the game, but to all the people that's still there that inspired me and helped me get to where I am right now. So I just keep doing it because it was always a dream for me to being able to make it far and help my people back home and show them that they can do it too.
Well, in addition to everything you're doing on and off the field, you're no stranger to the athletic department, being an intern for our branding and content team as a graphic designer. So tell me about your experiences, how you got into graphic design, and tell me some of your original work that you produced?
So, well, graphic design I'm new to it, and I started doing it because, you know, I follow a lot of soccer pages, and they make these incredible designs, and I was just curious on how they can do that, and I started to search on YouTube and try to, you know, tutorials and on Photoshop. I just started doing it, and I really like kind of fall in love with that, and you know, being here and being able to have this opportunity to work with these great designers, and where I learned so much. You know, I'm just trying to do my best and keep learning, and hopefully have another career in this world.
So for you personally, coming off a season-ending injury last year, how important is it to you to have a senior year this year?
I love this game. Sadly, last year it was one of the toughest moments of my career, and you know, I just shake it off. Gotta work back through it, and I'm here. I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to help my teammates, help this team, and you know, just grateful for the opportunity to have a senior year and being able to play the game again, because that's what I love the most.
Well, no doubt you have a bright future ahead, and USF is proud to have student athletes like you. So thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
That's all the time we have for this week's show. Don't forget, you can catch the next Bulls football game this Saturday at noon against Louisville.
And then join us Sunday night at 9 right here for Kaylee and myself. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.